Dimebag Darrell talks about some knockout riffs. Wait a minute, what the What's up, dudes? Thrash Potato, another video, kind of doing something different here. I've been going through a lot of old like Dimebag Darrell articles, and there's some great tips, some great things that I missed, some stuff I've never heard before, and I think maybe the rest of the world should be reminded of. So on this video, we're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna go back in time a little bit and see what Dimebag Darrell has to say about some knockout riffs and why they're important to him. Let's check out the article and see what he says. Alright, this is an entry from Dimebag Darrell's Riffer Madness column from back in the day. I don't know about y'all, but that was my go-to every time my magazine came in the mail. That was the first thing I looked for every time. So I'm trying to get my riffage up. I'm doing whatever I can to become a better player, and I started going back to these old articles, and I just think they would be a great thing to share so that we're reminded of what the man himself was talking about as far as guitar playing. So let's get into the article and see what it says. This entry comes from Dimebag Darrell's classic Guitar World column, Riffer Madness. God, we love Riffer Madness. To me and my band, guitar riffs are what it's all about. We know that every time we jam on a great riff, we got a fighting chance of writing a great song. You don't have to go to GIT or know a bunch of weird ass chords and scales to come up with some killer shit. But you gotta be totally into what you're doing. Check out Judas Priest's British Steel album if you don't believe me. It's packed full of godlike riffs, and he ain't lying, and most of them aren't hard to play. If you don't already own this album, buy it. It's essential shit, man. Anyway, here's a couple of ideas that might help you make the most of a good heavy riff. One of our audience's favorite riff is the main one in our encore, Cowboys from Hell. Oh yeah, that's my all-time favorite song, dude. Always has been, always will be. Ever since I heard that song, that's the song that changed my life, man. It's pretty easy to play because it's made of the first rock scale we all learn in the E minor blues scale. First time you hear the riff in this song intro we're about to play in an octave higher than I do during the rest of the track, hearing it played an octave higher is like an appetizer. It introduces you to the riff and it makes you hungry for more. He ain't lying, dude. Like I said, I think Cowboys from Hell is a masterpiece from beginning to end. As soon as I heard that rhythm, just that rhythm alone, I was like, who even makes a jam like this? Because I've never heard nothing like it before previously. Playing it higher first also makes the full-blown unison sound real heavy when it kicks in. I guess you could say that figure 2 is the body blow, and figure 3 is the knockout punch. My bud Jerry Cantrell from Alice in Chains, dude, this is so cool just reading his old articles, and you know what I mean, and seeing how it was back then. I miss it, man, I tell you what. Does the same sort of thing on wood. He starts off by playing the riff high up on the neck, then slams you in the teeth when the vocals enter by playing it an octave lower. Yeah, oh shit, I never even really kind of noticed that. They're kind of going off the same song build or whatever. That's pretty cool. To give the main Cowboys riff even more balls, I play the power chords on the E and A notes instead of just playing single notes like I do in the intro version. I think we all kind of jam it that way. I also add some low end chunk by applying some heavy duty palm muting. My whammy system is set up so that I can yank the bar up as well as do dive bombs with it, which, I mean, that's practically what he's known for, you know what I'm saying? This means if I push down on the bridge with my palm, my strings go so sharp and sound out of tune. I make sure this never happens by never resting my hand on the bridge with muting. I always do my muting just in front of the bridge. I also use the idea of repeating a riff in different octaves during the bridge of Cowboys. Oh shit, that's pretty cool. There's a short 1-bar descending run I like to play twice halfway through the bridge and at the end. This definitely makes the bridge sound cooler than if I just played the run in the same register twice. Get a grip. When I play live, I jump around like an idiot for an hour and a half or more under a lighting rig that's hotter than hell. Dude, I can only imagine, dude. This makes me sweat like a pig and makes it real tough for me to keep a firm grip on my picks, even those that are supposed to be non-slip. Losing control of your pick on stage sucks. I can only imagine just sitting right here when I lose my pick. It's freaking horrible. I can only imagine being up on stage, performing, everybody's waiting for that sick ass solo and then your pick slips. But we all know he used to slice his pick up so that there was no issue, you know. We all know it got to the point where he used to carve up his picks. So I scratched some deep X's into both sides of my pick with something sharp, like a dart. And doing this makes your picks look like obviously, but at least you won't won't look like an asshole because you dropped one in the middle of a solo. Yeah, exactly what I was saying. So what I got from this, especially being in the middle of working on some songs myself right now and not being so great, so I have to depend on riffs more than anything else. I really have to relearn a lot of the scales and stuff so that I can start soloing again decently, you know what I'm saying? So I came across this article and it just kind of hit me because that's what I'm relying on, and heck, that's even how I came across the article, because I was searching about how to make my riffs as heavy and awesome as I can. So now actually the song that I'm going to work on, now I'm going to start playing with octaves and see if that helps out a little bit. This just got me excited to jump back into the songs that I was working on so I can start playing with the octaves. I'm doing my little cartoon run, but that's only just so I could practice playing music. I want to be able to say, look, I created something on my own from scratch that even if nobody watches, at least I've accomplished something, and I want it to be the best as I can. And I figured who else to get some badass advice from except for the man himself. So this is probably going to be a reoccurring thing because I'm really into getting advice, and if the advice is out there that Dime gave, I'm probably going to grab it. I am starting to learn a couple of the scales from the other articles so that I can do this properly with the figures involved. So basically this article just gave me uber confidence to sit there and work on my riffs, because sometimes I feel like I'm working on them for too long, but it's just not the riff that I want to put out, you know what I mean? It's not exactly the riff that's in my head, and I keep going until I get that riff. Sometimes it takes a long time, and I was actually kind of losing hope, but seeing that Dime himself is like, hey man, you got to concentrate on that riff. Once you got a good one, you're gonna have a good song going. And it kind of makes sense because I don't start building on my jams until I get that first riff, that first just good tasty, yeah, I'll go with that. I think a good heavy riff is a great place to start, I believe, with an awesome drum track. That's how I do it. I play off of drums. I hear the beat, I try to make a jam off the beat. Well, maybe for the intro that I'm doing on mine right now, I'll scrap it and I'll just have it be the main rhythm, or something that has something to do with the main rhythm but just in a different octave. Now this dude's got my wheels turning. I'm gonna try a couple things on the jams I'm working on just on this advice alone. So what do you guys think? Think that was pretty good advice? I mean, obviously to me it's great advice. Again, like I said, I was actually struggling and thinking I was spending too much time on my rhythms. It gave me a bit of a confidence boost, especially when he's like, it's the essential, you know. So now I feel a little bit more relieved. So what do you guys think about Dime's advice? I think it's pretty right on, and it's pretty good stuff to know, especially when he lets you know right off. You don't need to go to Guitar Institute. You don't need to know a million scales. You just need to get on there and you need to rock it, you know. And I've always said, I don't care if you can play on one string. If you can make that one string work it, you know what I'm saying? So let me know what you guys think in the comments below about Dime's advice. And if you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing. It would really help my channel out a lot. And in return, I'll bring you some more articles. I'll bring you some guitar reviews. I'll bring you some gear reviews and some music videos. This is the ghetto of YouTube, so don't expect top tier, but I'm gonna give you some type of entertainment. So I hope you guys liked the video. I hope I see you on the next one. And again, y'all, don't forget to stay metal, and we'll see you on the next one. Later.